Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this livecast on business without anxiety, tackling general anxiety under high pressure. Today's purpose, we have about 30 minutes to talk about a very important topic, managing, supporting, and relieving anxiety in workplaces for high stress roles. We'll talk about the problem, the stigma attached, some techniques, some results, and some support systems that are available. This is a big topic, so it's not something that we will get over in 30 minutes, but we will do this every week. Every week, we are going to see some aspect of it, answer some questions, and understand how this is related to the workplace, to business consulting, to workplace stress. We're going to talk about business and anxiety, answer submitted question, and share some resources. I've put the links on the right. My name is Jeev Sahoo. Sahoo like Yahoo. This has been my journey. You can see, and I do have other introduction videos, so we'll skip through this. But from left to right here is about 23 years in 10 different countries and in variety of roles. And the one thing that is common is I dealt with people, I dealt with leaders, and I dealt with leaders who were under extreme pressure. So I have seen how things work and how things don't work. While doing this journey, I did have bereavements in life, stresses in life, COVID happened, and so forth. And I got the courage to speak about my childhood abuse. And once I started accessing this, talking about it, things started changing. And I understood that even the so-called strongest of us need help. This happened even before COVID, and during COVID, this became very, very important, especially when we were not allowed to meet each other in person. When we were in our silence, just the question, how are you, was a powerful question during those times. So over the years, I understood, coming from the entrepreneurial background and the leadership side of things, action is important. So we use the me approach, ME. We have asked many of our audiences on defining what is ME for them. We call it mindly entrepreneur, but we have a list of 20 plus full forms of ME. But the three things I really love here are ME, motivated engagement. We need to have actions, measurable efficiency. Whatever we speak, we need to convert this to something that can be tracked. Once you track it, you can see the progress, whether this way or that way. And for some of us, it is monetary enrichment. For some of us, it is time. For some of us, it is health. But you need to measure it. And the last ME is mind and emotions. So let's get started. Today we are talking about generalized anxiety. It's about conversations, not counseling. It's mindly, not therapy. So what is generalized anxiety? In fact, if you see the spectrum of mental health from stress to formal mental health, is a wide spectrum. Generalized anxiety, I would say, goes beyond stress, beyond overwhelm, and starts manifesting in physical forms. We have a video where we have showed 12 physical symptoms where you are already anxious. You might think it is stress, but it might be anxiety. It could be lack of sleep, sweating, and feeling nervous. So it is far milder than what you see in movies of panic attack or bipolar and so forth, which goes into mental health. But that is the issue. Because it is mild, we tend to ignore it. We tend to misunderstand it. And when it is mild, then you can actually do bigger prevention compared to when things go wrong. If you see 60% of the survey over here are talking about anxiety in workplace, 76% in stress, and 56% in depression. And if you see the chart on the left, up to 60% is preventable or is in the early prevention side of things. It has not yet gone into situations which cannot be managed. Please feel free to ask questions. I'm keeping an eye here to answer questions. We do have some questions submitted, but yes, please feel free to keep asking questions. So, a few more statistics. And again, these are not mindless statistics. I have been looking at the society in general, UK society in general, and all over the world. If you see any given week, Mind says, the organization, 6%, 6 in 100 people will be diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. Over 8 million people are experiencing anxiety disorder at any one time. That from Mental Health UK. Here comes the scary one. Less than 50% of people with generalized anxiety access treatment. And the statistics are worse for entrepreneurs, founders, because we pull up our socks and think we can fix it ourselves. We go and watch some motivational videos and we think that we can fix it. Or we may not have the time or monetary resources to fix it. Lastly, and this happened with me as well, where the hospital systems say the situation is manageable, here is a PDF to read, come back when things get worse. I understand hospitals are busy, but we don't want things to get worse. Unfortunately, many of us don't access and just get on with work, get on with life, get on with family. An estimated 822,000 workers are affected by work-related stress, depression, or anxiety. These are the ones who have spoken about it or mentioned this in a survey. Believe me, there are many of them who have just kept quiet. Hence, this is a bigger problem. Anything which is mild but carries on for a really, really long time is no more mild. It becomes a much bigger problem. Which is why we have decided to focus on the mildest of things that is going on and that is being misunderstood, ignored, tolerated, and people are trying DIY, do it yourself, but sometimes it can be destroy it yourself, especially if you're not seeking help, if you're not going out and sharing what is happening. There is a huge stigma attached. We attach that stigma ourselves. We think people will misunderstand us. People will think we are not capable of delivering as a business consultant, as a project manager, as a C-level leader, as a founder. When a founder comes, I belong to Prime Advantage Capital Partners, and we have seen founders coming and showing up their bravest of faces. But they also have life happening which is not related to their startup. It might be something related to bereavement, separation, health, but there needs to be something where we need to talk a bit more about it, share a bit more about it, without that shame, without that stigma. So yeah, at Step It Up, we do business consulting, strategy implementation, and help capital raise readiness as well. But we understood that general anxiety is something that we need to address while doing things related to business consulting, strategy implementation, and further. This goes beyond just the word stress. This goes beyond burnout. Many founders, many entrepreneurs, many C-level leaders, many senior leaders, they all know that they have to take care of their health. Some of them run, some of them do yoga, some of them do breathing techniques and so forth. But there is a line that is being crossed where it has gone into generalized anxiety. It has gone beyond mindset videos. And coming from a consulting background and understanding that this is not wishy-washy, I always connect it with revenue, salary, health, or something measurable. If you're not measuring it, it's still wishy-washy. 4 in 5 small business owners tell us they're experiencing poor mental health. And this is a research released by Avoca and Mental Health UK. 80%. 4 in 5. And the 5th one is lying. Because entrepreneurship by definition is quite stressful. And I'm not saying that after watching videos like this or after understanding certain training or the best of entrepreneurs, they never have problem or you will never have problem. It's about how we deal with the wave, how we deal with the stress, how we deal with the anxiety. That brings things down. Some myths about anxiety and mental well-being. And especially because we try to judge things from what we see in the media, we try to put our filters. So hence these myths arise. People with anxiety are violent or dangerous or crazy, unpredictable. In fact, I'm trying to be polite here because I have heard words like unreliable. And this is what we see in the movies or in someone else's life. But when it starts coming to your life, you start understanding, hold on, I'm actually far more reliable because I'm too anxious about the deliverable. I'm actually doing things even better. I'm actually the calmer one here because I'm more focused on the project. No, this is not about violence or being crazy. And this is where we are talking about the generalized anxiety, where things have started to slow burn. People with anxiety are not reliable. Mental illnesses are caused by unprofessionalism, weakness, laziness, or people who suffer from them should just snap out of it. There is nothing farther from the truth. It's difficult to snap out of it unless you have support, unless you have a method. In fact, many times people keep on going deeper and deeper into their overthinking mode. This does not affect everybody. Young people don't know real pain. This is what I have heard from actual investors when I was talking. They say, I leave my problems at the door when I come in. Those days are gone. Really, we need to be empathetic. We need to understand this happens to everybody, and everyone has their own battles that they are going through. This is not a personality weakness or a character flaw. And personality weakness or character flaws don't cause mental health problem. They might be related, correlated, coexisting, and so forth. But they are not the cause of it. I can't do anything for a person with mental health problem. Well, you can do a lot. The first thing you can do is just be there. Silently. You don't need to express anything. But they need to know that they are not alone. And when you are feeling stressed, you need to know that you are not alone. When you are feeling anxious, panic, and so forth. In some of our workshop, we create a emotions wheel or an emotions matrix, because many times the human mind tries to club together a bunch of emotions under panic or frustration. But as you start splitting them, you understand, was it really panic or I just needed a talk about the weather? Could be about coffee, could be about your pet. And that does something in the brain that brings you back from anxiety and helps you focus on your work. We'll share how does this help for your work. We have a wonderful question that was submitted. Prevention doesn't work. It's all wishy-washy. Well, unfortunately, there are a number of people just doing wishy-washy solutions or checklist solutions, but it works. It connects with revenue. It connects with progress. It connects with sleep. It connects with digestion. It connects with your bank balance. It connects with your everything that can be measured. So it's not really wishy-washy if you do it the right way. This is why we brought in business consulting, but we are empathetic about the anxiety that is there. We don't start by worsening the anxiety. We understand people go through stress, beyond stress, overwhelm, beyond overwhelm, burnout, beyond burnout, and they feel anxious about things which need not be related to their business. So, diving into some of the questions which have been submitted, I'm just watching. Yes, we do have some more questions coming on here. Why is it essential to address and support employees? I'm just looking here to see some new questions that have popped up as well, so that I can answer while I'm answering this question. Why is it essential for businesses to address and support employees specifically with generalized anxiety? And how does it contribute to overall preventive mental health? Now, this is the crux of this entire discussion, but I have tried to summarize two parts to this. And how is this relevant to businesses? Many a times you might have seen from previous well-being workshops, especially well-being being talked so many times and so deeply these days and so openly these days. But how about generalized anxiety? Here is something I want to share. If you see someone who is going through general anxiety, it does not show directly. That means if a person is present, you really don't know whether they are completely present. It is nothing to do with their personality, it is nothing to do with their character, and it need not be that they are just having a bad day. It can be something deeper. People start creating excuses for being absent. And if you lose them for any reason, or even if you lose them for a small period of time, you might have to rehire or retrain new members. That is the impact of not taking care of general anxiety at workplace. Meaning, somebody is going through anxiety. It might be, let's say, related to a bereavement. Someone lost someone else in their family or in their friend circle, and they need some time off. If we don't have things in the workplace to support them, then they are going to take longer hours off. They may not come back to work, or even if they are present, they are not 100%. Does it not affect the business? What if you are the owner and you are going through that? What if you are the leader, you are going through that? On the other side, on the positive side, if you have things in place, employee loyalty increases, productivity increases, staff retention and safety increases. This is very important. In fact, I was talking about with a CEO whose staff members actually going to the field to do things. Safety is important when this is calm and clear and confident. The company grows and customer satisfaction actually increases, and we have measured it. We have actually measured it, the number of things done to address general anxiety and how it reflects. As the employees become happier, customers are happier. As customers are happier, Trustpilot scores have improved. And that's reason enough to take care of general anxiety. These are some of the statistics. There are two statistics that I want to share. One from the Deloitte report that says, in fact, the source of this report is down at the bottom. For every $1 spent, you can get back every £1 spent, you can get back £5 on investment. And the other one is the 11% lower turnover if a workplace has these policies, programs, workshops in place. With so much of self-help and well-being workshops available, why is that we still see an increase in mental health issues? I was in just this November, I was doing a workshop, and they have found the increase in male suicide even when there are so much of resources available. And the second question from the same CEO is, if I have £500 to spare, why will I spend it on well-being instead of, for example, marketing? This is some reality. It has nothing to do by saying that some of the workshops are not good, what people are doing is not good, people are trying to create AI programs to track well-being and so forth. Unfortunately, especially in the SME world, especially when the company is small, many people are doing a checklist exercise, just making sure that we have something in place. Many of these are wishy-washy, meaning the CEOs, the leaders, the employees themselves, team members themselves don't see the result quick enough or objective enough. And they think, you know what, I'll do this when I have the time for it, or I'll go and do some yoga, some breathing, some meditation, which are all very helpful. But this is the reason why even after having so much of information, people are not thinking that I should invest in well-being before even doing something about marketing. In a marketing, when you put £100 for a website, you want the website to deliver something, and you can see it, you can measure it. But in well-being, the programs are not there yet, which is why we are sharing this. Some programs are coming where they can connect it. The moment you start doing it, you will see that it was worth spending. In fact, you will do a far better job in finance, marketing, everything once this is clear. There is a lot of issue and difference in discussion between male and female specific well-being topics. There are different words being used. There are CEOs who have come and said, especially if they belong to the other gender, they are not ready to share something, and the safe space is different. And some of the counselors, if the person has gone to a counselor, have not run the business at that level. They don't understand the corporate life. So we need to bring in things that while we are doing the consulting, can we have some things where we are empathetic about the anxiety around, and so that we can create a safe space, and that makes us better consultants. And the last one being not being revenue connected. If a CEO is not able to see a change in the bottom line because this is happening, then of course they will invest in something else, time-wise, money-wise. But if they keep on doing that while burning out, then they're running out of fuel, mental fuel, and they're heading towards something worse, then that is not manageable. That is my answer to that. Again, the same chart you could, if you're seeing a recording of this video, we will share this chart as well. You can take a screenshot. You have the resource link underneath as well. But yes, you do get ROI. I'm hesitant to talk about this topic in a group scenario, especially at work. How many times have I heard that? And in fact, I have heard where people have said, I cannot share this thing with my business partner or with my life partner and so forth. I only talk about the good things with my family. I don't share what is going wrong with my business. I don't think it will work. I can't share this in a group scenario. How can we make it work? And we did face this. I was wondering how will people talk about feeling anxious in a group scenario if we create a support group and so forth. Well, it's a diminishing problem when shared. When you start sharing this, initially the same people who were hesitant to share, they became their support group. They knew that they are going to have someone who is looking after them, someone who is there to talk with them, and we create a structure around it. We share a structure in the club. We call it Mindly Club inside the company, so that they can just meet for a coffee or something and talk about something without feeling judged. We tell them which are the words that can be used, positive reinforcement, and we share how to have a structure around it so that it does not go into a complaining session or a mourning session. It's more about how can I get over this so that I can do something better for my business, for my employment, and as a human being. We have an app, we have books, and we have a number of resources available free. And once you start doing it, you will see that the group is actually your support group. It can be a dog walking group, but it's your support group. It can be a golf group, but it's your support group. It can be a coffee group, but it's your support group. So if you're a caring people leader, C-level a leader, investor, I'm very happy to share about the Well at Work Wellbeing Workshop. It's a no fluff workshop. It's done from a business perspective and talking about psychology rather than the other way around. And very happy to take any questions and bookings over here and in the comments. If we haven't answered your question, please ask in the comments. And we intend to come every week or every 2 weeks so that we can keep answering this question and from a business and consulting perspective while having generalized anxiety in mind, being empathetic for it. Remember, this is not a replacement for medical help. This is not a replacement for professional help. And remember to put your own oxygen mask first. Seeking help is a sign of strength. So if you or someone you know needs help, please do seek help. And many times we know where to draw the line, and we signpost people to the right person if they need help, if they need something to do with finance, if they need to do something with nutrition, if they need to do something with suicide prevention and so forth. Definitely help is available, so please don't hesitate to seek help. We do a number of workshops. We have a number of free resources at mindly.uk/free. You can use our free app, look at our books, look at our online programs, and if you have any questions, please drop us a line to talksafely@mindly.uk, and we'll make sure we answer these questions next time. You can get a free demo of everything, how it connects in a business environment, how it connects to revenue, to traction, and so forth, so that we go beyond wishy-washy techniques and we create better team members, better businesses. I'm watching the time. We do have one more. Yes, some more questions are coming, and we do have 2 more minutes left. What's the difference between anxiety and depression? I'll try to give an answer in plain English, and I'm sure there are technical answers available. In plain English, when you are going through a phase where you are stressed out about something, and stress is a response to some change in your environment, and there are good stresses, there are bad stresses. When you're going through that, if you are going towards giving up and slowing down and in the fight, flight and freeze, if you're going towards freezing, that is taking you towards depression. So if someone is having symptoms, you knew that they are very lively, but these days they have stopped talking. There are a list of symptoms there, some cognitive, some behavioral and so forth, or they have they're very silent, or they're not showing up in time, or if you yourself you're having either oversleep or undersleep, that's going towards the depression side of things in plain English. The medical terms are even deeper. On the anxiety side of things, you tend to act on it much faster, and it's like your breathing increases, you start talking faster, you get irritated or frustrated and so forth. That's going towards anxiety side of things. So that's the plain English definition, and of course the medical definitions are slightly deeper. But if you see someone who used to be very calm and now seems to be losing it at the slightest of things, they just might need to talk it out with someone, and that's the first thing that you both can help each other with. So that's a very, very relevant question, because many times we confuse stress, burnout, anxiety, depression, and general anxiety. So we have one more question here. The question is, what one thing I can do physically to feel less anxious? Very, very nice question. Sleep in a balanced way, so neither too much or not too less. Drink water and breathe deep from the belly. Even while in corporate meetings, nobody knows how you are breathing. Don't breathe from the chest, breathe with your belly. That actually does chemical changes. You will be more focused, more clear in your meetings, at work, with your family. So sleep in a balanced way, hydrate yourself, and belly breathing. That is definitely going to reduce your anxiety. And please seek help if you need to. Looking at the time, this is this has been a wonderful opportunity to share, and we'll come back with more topics and with more answers. Thank you ever so much, and let's grow together.